We see the missile-ready tin. We see 5 missiles. We see fueling and checkout vehicles. And even if you look close, you can see men walking around. Now, this photograph is taken at 250 feet, about the speed of sound. And this is the kind of thing, now when we're showing this to policymakers, this is what they really understand.
With Soviet denial still fresh, UN Ambassador Adlai Stevenson arrives in New York for a Security Council session, armed with a surprise. Leading the meeting is Soviet Ambassador Zorin. Stevenson interrupts.
Do you, Ambassador Zorin, deny that the USSR has placed and is placing medium and intermediate range missiles and sights in Cuba? Yes or no?
You will have your answer in due course.
I'm prepared to wait for my answer until hell freezes over, if that's your decision.
Stevenson doesn't wait. Instead, he launches into a presentation that would stun the world, and especially William Ecker.
He reached behind him, there was an easel there, and he flipped the shroud on it off, and there were the pictures, right at the UN.
At the cost of revealing secret surveillance capabilities, Ecker's photographs make the U.S. case undeniable. With American ships in place, the quarantine goes into effect. 2 Soviet ships, the Yuri Gagarin and the Kimovsk, steam toward the blockade line. Between them, one of the Soviet submarines carrying a nuclear torpedo. In the White House, Defense Secretary McNamara narrates the situation to the president.
There is a submarine very close, we believe, to each of them. The submarine will be at the barrier tonight, late today, and hence it's a very dangerous situation. The Navy recognizes this, is fully prepared to meet it.
The war might have started this way. The American ships attacked the Soviet submarine and somehow harmed it. In that case, the commander would definitely have to use his weapons.
President Kennedy is reluctant to start the war here.
Get the surface or take some action to which the urgency that we're just going to attack it anyway. At what point are we going to attack it? I think we ought to wait on that today. We don't want to have the first thing we attack is the Soviet submarine.
It was almost a fatal tragedy for us. During this cat-and-mouse play with the Americans, we almost completely spent our battery. My engineer said to me, "Our battery is almost dead. We can't remain underwater. We can either surface or sink." I decided to surface. It was daylight. When I came up, I saw strange ships, American ships.
Robert Kennedy would later say that this moment is the one that brought the world closest to nuclear war. And it is now that the U.S. Strategic Air Command moves to defense condition, or DEFCON 2. Nearly 60 Strategic Air Command aircraft loaded with nuclear weapons are airborne around the clock. Bombers on the ground are loaded with nuclear weapons, given targets, and placed on a 15-minute alert.
I thought, if there was a war, an invasion of Cuba, there would be nuclear war. And that would result in the disappearance of millions and millions of people.